All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, Bashem Kakudash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, bring great examples to us younger brothers, and peace and blessings and salutations. Hopefully, got there pushing His word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds is the name of Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. Wishing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful the believers and listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. And what I want to get into today, all right, is going into a servant of all, okay? And it comes from an account in the book of Mark, all right, dealing with Yahweh Shai and him, pretty much instilling a mindset, into the disciples, because Yahweh Shai, going back to that, the author, and finisher of our faith, he was always a constant example, and one of the main examples, okay, that Yahweh Shai, was showcasing for the disciples was righteous leadership, because there was always a plague, amongst our people would be poor leadership. You know, you look at, the downfall of us as a people. It would always start off, with bad leadership, man. Okay, poor decision making from up top. Okay, whether it was being weak to the flesh or just being outright wicked. We will always fall. As their lineage from Adam. Okay, the sons of God in Genesis the sixth chapter. Okay, because it was a leadership when you read Genesis the sixth chapter. When you speak about men of renown, the sons of God. Okay, yeah, that was the leadership that fell. You know, King Solomon. The kingdom was split. Okay, after King Solomon and Jeroboam went directly into idolatry. you know, um, you had during the time before the Babylonians took down the southern kingdom, you had Jehoiakim and Zedekiah, and they was displaying. You read the history. It was poor leadership that constantly had us in captivity, man. And so forth and so on. So Yahweh Shai, he within his teachings, going into the scriptures and breaking down prophecy, he was also, developing the disciples to be leaders. Okay? And I want to get this account in the book of Mark. I'm going to read it to the point, and pretty much expound on the lesson, I posted this morning, because at the end of the day, the Lord built us for whatever lot we're supposed to have. He gave us the gift and the capacity, to deal, to hold down our lot efficiently, And when you read the book of Mark, chapter 10, okay, verse let's start at 35. I read in the NLT, Mark 35 and 10. It said, then James and John, the sons of Zebedee, came over and spoke to him, teacher. They said, we want you to do, all right, us a favor. Verse 36, what is your request? He asked. They replied, when you sit on your glorious throne, we want to sit in places of honor next to you, one on your right hand and one on the left. But Yahweh said to them, you don't know what you are asking. So, you had two disciples, requesting certain positions of honor. And the first thing Yahweh told them, you have no clue of what you're asking, man. Like you don't understand, okay, the responsibility that comes with those two seats. Okay, they didn't think about their part. Okay, they were just thinking about, the glory, that comes with those positions. They wasn't thinking about the responsibility that comes with it. Okay, and like I was saying earlier this morning, in which they wasn't being wicked, because then like that was diabolical. It was a thing of they were still immature. They was, because Yahweh Shah was teaching them and preaching a kingdom to them. So they was excited about the kingdom because they was under the Romans. Being tax heavy. Jake was kind of bad off, man. So as Yahweh Shah is teaching the kingdom, and they're wondering about seats of honor, in the kingdom. So Yahweh Shai is letting them know, like, look, you have no idea what you're asking for, man. Okay, and one thing, when people see someone operating in a leadership position and they see that those people are getting praised, and those people are calling out instructions and things are getting done, that's the part that everybody gravitates to. But it's the part that you don't see about leadership, that no one wants to have nothing to do with. You see? Because like I say, man, yeah, it's cool to be a leader when everything is going right, when, you coming up with certain, you point fingers, do this and do that, and see? But you have an aspect of leadership to where you make a wrong decision and you and you affect people's actual lives, man. Like that's the aspect of leadership no one ever considers. Do you think Sakari, okay, chief priest, Deacon Hakai, you think they care about how they're affecting the lives of the people that follow them? See, when you don't care, being a leader is all fun, when you just have everyone feed into your ego, you're constantly getting praised. When you don't really give a damn about the well-being of the people that follow you, yeah, it's a fun position, because them guys are big kids. Okay, you think Nate cares about uh, the well-being of the people that follow him? Okay, no, man. Did he really care about the community? No. Okay, they're just reaping in this money and getting this praise and getting this glory, from amongst the people, but they don't really care about their leadership and how it affects those people that follow them. But when you really are in their position and you have a care for the people that follow you, then it's a whole different office. Being a leader becomes a whole nother office, man. Because I say, man, just going into my experience, and as a leader, you'll make decisions, and you'll think, you'll sincerely think it's the best decision at the time, and then it go bad, and your decision has affected the lives of multiple families, because like when I was at the steel plant, and I was in their position, at any time I would have, 16, 17, at the most, like I think it was 18 men, okay, that was under me. And when you look at it like, okay, that's 18 different heads of families, okay, that's looking to my decision making, to benefit them and their family. So there's certain times when I made decisions that I look back, wasn't the best decision, and it affected, those men. You see, and when you do that, sometimes you don't sleep well. You know, you don't sleep well on that, man. When I was coaching Little League football, and as the head coach, you got 15, 20, you know, 7, 8 year olds looking at you for the answers, and everything is great when it's going good, okay? But then you make one wrong call and it costs the game, and you have to look those 7, 8 year olds in the face. Some of them crying, And it's based off a decision you made. And so then it's a whole nother element, when it comes to being a leader. It's like, damn. And it's growing as well, because you got to go through those things to grow as a leader. That's why, those older kings, will have much more wisdom. In their youth, they'll be more ambitious, and even if they are wise, there's still some times where they'll be overconfident, and they'll learn them lessons. Those generals, okay, because as a general, if you have a 40,000 man army, well, guess what? Those are 40,000 heads of households, okay, that's under your order, okay? So you make a mistake because you and your feelings, or you emotional, okay, and you put those men in a bad predicament, that's on you. If you're a leader that care, if you don't give a damn, they're just bodies, okay? But if you're a leader that has a true concern, your mindset is to take as many men back home to your family as possible, okay? that's always the goal. So that has to be factored in the decision making. You see, so you make a poor decision. You were at war as a general. You make a poor decision based off your pride or your ego, or you trying to get some vain glory to yourself. But you done lost 20,000 men. That's 20,000 families that's heavily affected by it. You just made 20,000 widows in one day, 20,000 orphans in one day, or more, because you have multiple, children, sometimes multiple wives, but, just throwing some numbers out, okay? You just made that many widows in one day. You see, like, that's the reality of leadership, especially in the higher you get, the more, responsibility you have. Even Yahweh Shai said, to whom much is given, much is required, okay? If a brother can post, matter of fact, if a brother can post that, let me know if y'all still can hear me. I see the screen froze again. Crazy, But let me know if y'all still can hear me. Okay, and we'll read on down some more in this parable. Yeah. I guess that's just what it do now. I don't know. Yep. As long as y'all can hear, that's the main thing, But going back to Mark chapter 10, verse what was it? All right. So Yahweh Shai, he like Mark 10:36. It says, "What is your request?" He asked. They replied, "When you sit on your glorious throne, we want to sit in places of honor next to you, and on your right, and the other on your left." But Yahweh Shai said to them, "You don't know what you are asking. Are you able to drink from that bitter cup of suffering I am about to drink? Are you able to be baptized with the baptism of suffering I must be baptized with?" So Yahweh Shai, all right, let them know, like, look, first you gotta drink of this cup of suffering before we even get, to that part, and this suffering is like we been going into later. This suffering is perfecting us, is making us complete. By the time Yahweh Shai crack those clouds and deliver us and put an end to all heathen rule, okay, we're gonna be perfect, wanting nothing. That's why the book of James, speaks about letting patience have a perfect work, and as bad as we want the end to come, like yesterday, all right, the Lord is, every day that the end doesn't come, the Lord is still dealing with us. He's putting us through these afflictions, putting us through certain sufferings, putting us through certain circumstances. And that's why when we get put in these certain circumstances, the Lord wants us to deal. There's always something that the Lord is teaching us in every affliction, in every circumstance, in every vexation, Yahweh Shai is teaching us something, man. Okay? He's molding us, all right, in this in his furnace of affliction. Matter of fact, my brother can post that too. Isaiah 48 and 10. I'm gonna read this from the brother. This the brother Corner Waff, GMS pray always, hopeful elect. Okay, Luke 12 and 48. It says, but he, but he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes. For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required. To whom men have committed much, of him will they ask the more. Yeah, so as the Lord has given brothers, different portions, in his faith, all right, that isn't for us to boast and make ourselves as if we just these, Hebrew gurus, and, to make an exhibition of how much we know. Okay, nah, man, the gifts and the portion of faith and the portion of understanding that the Lord has given to each man is supposed to benefit everybody. We're not supposed to benefit off of it and just, grift the congregation and, we can be y'all spiritual counselors, and, we're praying for, pay for prayers, and you see every time we do a live stream, it's a cash app. Nah, man, just because the Lord gave us a particular portion, we're not supposed to capitalize off this wisdom, okay, for our own gain. Okay, no, we're supposed to be building with this wisdom. Like, the more the Lord gives us, the more he requires. Like, nah, he requires you to pour more into his church. He gave us these talents to pour into his church. Okay, these talents weren't for us to capitalize in the flesh, but to pour into the church, because everything is about building. So the more there's given, all right, the more that is required, the more responsibility comes with those gifts and those talents, man. So this is a thing that keeps us occupied, all right, and also keeps us as a servant. The best way to stay humble is to operate like a servant. Keep operating like a servant, which you're going to get into. But operating like a servant is the best way to stay humble. When Jake start, looking at themselves, okay, as these, these certain as celebrities, Jake started to look at themselves as some type of celebrity and some type of, they start to look at themselves more than what they are, okay, and think that the truth revolves around them. They get this main character syndrome in the truth, okay. Then that's when we start, Jake's get these egos, and, Jake start getting delusional, thinking they can say anything, teach anything, and they drift away, man, get more proud, okay, and pride, all right, is despised of Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, because that was one of the main things that he will always address, dealing with the scribes and Pharisees, man, hypocrisy and pride, So, yeah, let's get this. Just the brother, GMS prayer always hope for elect. Isaiah 48 and 10. It says, behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. Okay? So we're being refined for rulership. We're drinking that cup. Like the Lord will put you in certain circumstances, because at times, we find ourselves pouting, feeling sorry for ourselves, man. It ain't fair. Why I'm the only one got to go through this, and why? But real growth is when you just embrace the situation, embrace the unfairness, because it really ain't unfair. Because the final product that the Lord, that Yahweh Shai, all right, is molding us to be, it's gonna be well worth it. See, ain't nothing like being built a certain way, and I'm hoping I'm making sense. But there's nothing like being built a certain way. But in order to be built a certain way, you gotta survive certain afflictions. Okay, you gotta overcome certain afflictions. You gotta overcome certain scenarios. Like you gotta get over, you know, this ain't fair. Okay, you gotta get over why me. You know, and get to the point to where understanding what needs to be done. Okay, when you know, because a lot of times I had to realize, okay, ain't nobody gonna care as much as I care about. Ain't nobody gonna be committed like I'm be committed. Like it ain't they lot to be committed like I'm committed. It ain't they lot to care about it like I care about it. You know, it ain't they lot, you know, to deal with the burden that I gotta deal with. You know, and when we stop operating as a victim, okay, and start to operate, okay, as a conqueror, you know, then we start seeing true growth. And that's what Yahweh Shah want. And Yahweh Shah leave us in that furnace until till we start operating like that. Alright? Cause you know Yahweh Shah don't care about pouting and lips poked out. Okay? You know? He don't care nothing about that shit, man. See, this is, you know, there's a difference, you know, when your father or your big brother deal hands on with you, man. Okay, and that's something that's rare in this society, you know, which is ran by a matriarch. And that's why a lot of men get offended, you know, in this ministry, because the Heavenly Father deals with us from a very austere and masculine standpoint. Okay, and this world has been so, you know, emasculated, you know, that a lot of men can't deal, you know. And the Wali, how about Shema Shah, we still here, you know, you brothers still fighting, you know. But yeah, man, the Lord, you know, He's choosing us out of the fire of affliction. Like when we get delivered, it's like He's literally pulling us out this furnace, man, because we finished, you know. Uh, 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 you had that chick, she looked like an Edomite, you know, but she went to this silversmith, you know, she was a Christian, and she was trying to get a better concept of, you know, she went to a silversmith and she was just trying to get, you know, a concept, because she was reading, I think it was Malachi, 3rd and 4th chapter, you know. Matter of fact, we gotta get it. We gotta get it. So, you know, rush, man, you know. This is, let's get that in. I think it's Malachi 3 and 4. Malachi 3 and 3. It says, and he shall sit, all right. And it says, he shall sit as a refiner and purifier of silver, and he shall purify the sons of Levi and purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer unto the Lord an offering in righteousness. Okay? And ultimately, as we understand that the priesthood, okay, is after the order of Melchizedek. Okay, so we're all being groomed to be priests. Okay, kings and priests. Okay, and the main point is that he will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver, because a silversmith would have to put that fire, he would have to put that silver in the furnace, and he would have to sit and watch it, you know, because you couldn't take it out too soon and you couldn't take it out too late. Okay, so he would have to watch the process. And she asked him, well, how do you know when the silver is ready, when it's ready to come out? And he said, that's easy, you know. He says, when I can see my reflection in it. You see, because the silversmith, like, you know, the refiner, he was like, I take it out when I can see my reflection. So we're being refined until Yahweh Shah can see his image in us. Okay, those 144,000 men, okay, are going to be express images of Yahweh Shah, and by default express images of the Father. Okay, so Yahweh Shai, he puts us in these circumstances to overcome these circumstances, and that's refining us liking unto him. You know, because there was a lot of times, man, you know, at that steel plant, man, I would find myself in a lot of circumstances that Yahweh Shai would be in. You know, it's like, you know, you know, Jake, Jake will be hell bent, you know, on trying to confound me. You know, like Jake was always trying to sabotage, you know, what I had going on. Jake was always, you know, murmuring. You know how niggas is, man. You know, but Yahweh Shai had to deal with that, man. You know, them niggas always coming up asking trick questions, and they was always, what they say, he got devils on him. You know, he got demons on him. That's how he able to do that. You know, what they were saying, we Howard shot, he's a glutton and a wine bibber. You know, trying to destroy his character, man. So, you know, a lot of times I found myself drinking out of that cup. You know, with all you brothers, you know, you go through your day to day, you know, certain situations, you know, you kind of like, damn, you know, this that cup. Like some certain things will happen, man. In real time, I would, you know, just laugh, man, cause I know, like, you know, how should I be up there laughing, man, cause he putting us through it. You see, and you know, he's overseeing, cause remember the silversmith says he can't look away from it. So Yahweh Shai is watching every moment of our progress in this thing, man. Okay? And we can't cry our way out of it. We can't complain. Okay? Mama can't fix it. You see? Nah, man. You gotta deal. You see? Until we start to react like Yahweh Shai. You know? Yahweh Shai leave us in a situation till we start reacting like he would react, man. That's why we got this word, we got these lessons, you know, prayer, you know, we got all the tools we need, you know, and don't immediately know why. And that's why it's good to ask. You know, I found myself always asking, okay, what do you want me to see? You know, what are you trying to show me? You know, and I'll be shown, make the adjustment. All right, let's go to the next phase. You see? So let's go here. Let's go back to the parable. Well, no, we go back to Malachi. Yeah, let's go back to the parable. That was it, Malachi. Mark 10. It's back in the book of Mark, chapter 10, verse. Start at 39 again. It says, "Oh yes," they replied, "We are able." You know, so Jake, when he asked them about drinking that cup, you know, Jake just saying, "Yeah," they don't even know what the cup is. Okay, and why scriptures say this thing is like honey in our mouth or bitterness in our belly. You know, and we come to find out who we are. We come to find out what, you know, greater people we come from. We the chosen, you know, the kingdom and rulership and perks that come with rulership. Okay, but then there's a bitterness, because what, he finna take us through the fire, like John the Baptist said. You know, how Yahushua will baptize us in water, which is his understanding and his fire. Okay, it says, "You indeed will drink from my bitter cup and be baptized with my baptism of suffering, but I have no right to say who will sit on my right or on my left. The Most High has prepared those places for the ones he has chosen." Okay, and the ones that are chosen, all right, were created for those positions. King David was created to be second under Yahushua. Like it's already built into his spirit to hold down that position. Okay, each brother, whatever order they in, you know, Lord will, we of that number, but whatever order we are, okay, within the within, all right, the government of Israel, we're built for that order. You know, like we're built just for that position. Yahweh Shema Shai has this thing mapped out. So this why it's not a thing of, you know, wanting a certain rank. It's a thing of mastering the gifts that's within us, which is going to make us fit, all right, for our office, for our rank in the kingdom. And it start off now, you know, by mastering, all right, our gifts that's making us fit for the office that we in now. You know, some brothers, you know, got families. All right, that's why, you know, it starts with being master of ourselves. You know, being temperate. Okay, because you go into temperate, it goes into self-government. You know, because we have to be able to self-govern ourselves before we can govern over anyone else. Okay, because rulership is about people. You see, like rulership is about people. Like you, when someone's in rulership, you know, they have to understand people. You know, because you're managing people. You know, you're putting people in the best position possible to win. You know, so the first person that we should know is us. You see, so that's why phase one is mastering us, man, knowing our weaknesses, you know, certain flaws, certain things we gotta make adjustments with, you know, knowing certain things that, you know, the scripts talk about how, you know, go not in a way without might just fall. Okay? Certain, you know, men, you know, another man's strength can be another brother's weakness, you know? So understanding ourselves and putting ourselves in the best position is phase one. Okay, and then the Lord will have it, you know, with some brothers, you know, would have families, you know, women, okay, however it might be. Then you learn, you know, to manage that situation, okay. And as we, you know, become more and more seasoned in the faith, you know, you get certain responsibilities within the camp, you know, and we learn to master that office, man, okay. And then it's gonna come a time where, hey, as we see that we just one button push away from things hitting the fan and all our chaos, and eventually, man, Yahweh Shai is gonna come deliver us, man. All right, and He's gonna place us in our eternal offices, man. We're gonna get those incorruptible crowns. Okay, so the thing is, you know, not looking for, you know, a certain rank, you know, or you know, desiring, you know, a certain position, you know, but just praying to be, just working and praying and being fit for whatever position the Lord already has, you know, predetermined, because we're not gonna be disappointed, man. You know, if you are the first fruits, you're not gonna be disappointed, man. If you know, even if you're just a man that's of the 1/3 that's not in the 144,000, there's gonna be no disappointment in the reward that comes from Yahweh Bashim Shai. You know, and like we're not gonna be, you know, disappointed, or we're not gonna, you know, be looking at another brother's position in the kingdom, okay, with covetousness, man. Nah, man. The Lord gonna give us our perfect, you know, portion. All right, that we built for, man. Okay. He's gonna give us that perfect portion. All right. He's gonna give us that perfect portion that's customized for our spirit. You know, each woman, you know, she's gonna be a wife to the man that's customized. All right, you know, for her spirit. Okay. Remember, Yahweh Shema Shai created the spirits. So he knows exactly what's needed and what's proper and what's pleasing. You see? So let's let's go here. This is Mark 10 and 41. It says, when the 10 other disciples heard that James and John had asked, they were ignorant. You know, I always say indignant, which means they was angry. You know, that John and James are asking about that. So now you have a little tension between the disciples. So Yahweh Shai, you know, he settles the matter. Okay, verse 42. So Yahweh Shai asked them together and said, ye know that the rulers in this world lord it over their people, and officials flaunt their authority over those under them. So he began to tell them, like, look, really y'all thinking of the leaders of this world, and they was under the Romans, so they had their Roman influence. Okay, you know, the Roman Caesars, you know, they will have statues of themselves. They will put their face on the coins, and you know, they flaunted themselves, okay, as if these larger than life, you know, figures. Okay, they pretty much benefited off the people. The people, you know, didn't benefit off their rulership. Okay, because you go into ancient Rome under Augustus, that's where you get the first professional police department, because it was so much, you know, fires and, you know, civil unrest going on, okay, that they had to make a professional police department. You see, you know, different, you know, police officers, like a lot of it came out of Rome, okay, because of civil unrest, okay, because you will have a very disproportion, you know, the wealth going up top, and the people will be suffering. You see, and whenever, all right, let's say, you know, if Caesar wanted to do something, well, what would they do? They would raise the taxes. Okay, here it is. They already have way more than enough, but because he wake up with an idea, now you got to pay for it, and the idea only benefit him, just so he can say he built this and he built that. But that doesn't benefit the people, but the people have to pay for it, you know. So Yahweh Shai was telling them, look, you know, y'all thinking like the heathen. Okay, this is how they move, you know, where the whole nation benefit a small percentage, okay, which is the leadership. But nah, man, we're not gonna operate like that. So this is going to the main point of the lesson, and it says, but among you it will be different. Whoever wants to be a leader among you must be your servant, okay? And whoever wants to be first among you must be the slave of everyone else. Now, what is he saying? Okay? Well, he's saying that rulership is an office of servant. Okay? Rulership ain't about, okay, the people serving you. Okay? Now, of course, in those offices it comes with perks, because the Most High has a perfect balance of everything. Okay? When he says that you are a servant, because you read in the KJV, all right? This is Mark 10 and 44, and that's the spirit, you know, 144, you know, 10:44. It says, and whosoever of you will be the chiefest shall be servant of all. You see, when you're in rulership, your decision making should be geared towards being the service to everyone that's under you. All right, from your right hand man down to the least servant. You know, so the decision making of a ruler, okay, should benefit everyone up everyone under him. Okay, it should do them some service. Okay, so when you're a ruler, you're not thinking for yourself anymore. Your decision making ain't just based on you anymore. Even your personal decisions, when you're a ruler, you have to consider everyone else, man. You see, like say if you was, when you, let's say you was a baker, okay, that's still, you a man, you still have a wife, wives, children, you got a family. Well, guess what? If you a baker, you know, and you are addicted to strong drink, all right, you're addicted to liquor, so now you're an alcoholic, okay, you run your company to the ground, you see, you get a bad reputation, so now your whole family has a bad name, so now everyone under you is affected, okay, everyone under you is affected by your decision making. So now, okay, you pretty much done put your family in the poorhouse. Okay, your sons, they got to carry that bad name they whole life. Okay, based off what? The decision of one man. So they're ruined, let's just say a family of 5. So they're ruining 4 other people's lives based off the decision making of one man. Okay, how much more when you're a king? Okay, you're a man that's a leader, and you got thousands, probably millions, millions under you. Okay, so now how you operate has a direct effect on everyone. Okay, what King David was doing, because Israel wasn't a superpower when David beat Goliath, when he fought Goliath. Israel wasn't a superpower. Okay, Israel became a superpower under King David. Okay, and it flourished economically under King Solomon. You see, the way that they served, the way that they led, everybody benefited. You see, you read 1 King, the 4th chapter. Israel was in Mary. No, let's get there real quick. All right, let's get that in 1 Kings. So Yahushua, is letting them know, like, look, if you're gonna be a leader, you gotta be a servant to all. Okay, and like I say, good leadership benefits everyone that's under that leadership. Okay, good leadership benefits everyone that's under that leadership. Look at the apostles and elders, man. Okay, their leadership benefit. Look how many families that their leadership benefits. Okay, brothers, more responsible. Brothers are scholarly. Brothers are occupied. Okay, you probably had brothers that was addicted to the club and this and that. Now he done sat down somewhere. Okay, you got whole families benefiting off the leadership, all right, of the apostles and elders, man. Okay, you got men, I say, moving more responsible, more reliable, all right, becoming the best version of themselves in favor with Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai. Okay, under the leadership of the apostles and elders, man. Just like, then another example of poor leadership. In the times we coming in now, and Jake is putting fringes on everything. Whole family got fringes on, man. Okay, like we are about to see the benefits of good leadership play out real time, and we're about to see the casualties that come with poor leadership. And see, that's why that's why it's cool to just be wild right now. Like you can say anything, you can lead the people how you want because no one's, everybody's walking away unscathed. Even though with IUIC they had a few bodies, they took the juice, okay, a few bodies, they caught some bodies, all right, but we're gonna see it on a mass scale. You see, because during this grace period, either your leadership served you or you served the leadership. Okay, here it is. You don't know what the MOT is, all right, but you got a Passover garment every year from 2018 until now, but you have no clue what the MOT. Okay, you got all these Hebrew hoodies. Okay, you got all these Hebrew hoodies. The caps, the hats. But you don't know which portion of the Bible is the word of God and which portion is not. Okay, and we're gonna come to a time to where whatever you done in this grace period, you're gonna have to stand on it. However you built, you're gonna have to stand on it. When these things collapse. Okay, now let's go back here. Read that last verse. This is back in Mark 10:45. Because let's finish this. Mark 10 and 45. It says, "For even the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, all right, but to minister and to give his life a ransom for many." And that's one thing that I'm starting to realize, that the Lord put this spirit in this body that I have for his ministry, man. That's why more and more is less about what I want and my intentions, but what's needed for the ministry, man. Okay, what's needed for the ministry. Like, we should try to make ourselves more and more on call for Yahushua as much as possible as his ministry. Okay, because we're here to serve. We're not here to be served, man. We're not here to rake in all this revenue, to be on all these platforms, showcase our wisdom. Because this wisdom is valuable, man. And it ain't for to be just, made into, to be commercialized. Nah, man. This wisdom is for those that truly believe. Like, we would do the true believers a disjustice, by incorporating gimmicks, okay, into the ministry. Okay, by going on all these different debates. Okay, by making an alliance with the Crips. Okay, being that camp with guns, like all this gonna come full circle, man. That's gonna come full circle. Okay, we will be doing the true believers of this justice. Okay, if they're waiting to be fed, but we so caught up in our own life, man. Like, nah, this our life, man. The Lord give us, our sufficient daily bread. We as men, okay, as men, like I say, we know what's needed, okay, to run our household. That's another thing about being a leader, okay, is you understand, all right, we understand what needs to be done in our situation, okay, because we still got to be disciplined with, how we spend money, what we invest in, we got to be disciplined, we should be learning, all right, we should be, learning finances to the point to where we can be efficient, you know. But the main thing, everything we do should be rooted for this word, because as we even learn, how to be more efficient financially, it's to free us up for the truth. you know, that's why anything before I endeavor on it, I see how much time is involved. Okay, how much time is involved? Like, is this, you know, am I gonna have to? Is it gonna require a lot of time? Because I value time more than money. you see. So one of the main things I consider before I get involved in anything is the time that's in it. You know, and the Lord got me in a decent spot now. And if He adds something to it, cool. But you have to consider the time because the more time that we have, to be available for your house shot, that's gonna pay off in the times to come and in the next life. you see. So, your house shot, he was giving them the game like, nah, y'all thinking like heathens, man. We not gonna rule Israel like that. Okay, even Howard Shah coming to wage war, that's him serving his people. He coming to make war on our behalf. you see, that's him coming to do a service for his people. All right. In the kingdom, it's gonna be understood that Howard Shah, every generation of every generation, all right, of Israelites is going to benefit from this war that Yahweh Shai is about to bring to this realm. Every generation, every Israelite that comes through the womb is going to benefit from what Yahweh Shai did on the cross and the war that he's about to bring. Okay? And Lord will, you brothers, if we of that number, we play a part. And it's going to be known, all right, that there's particular men that rolled it out with Yahweh Shai, man. Okay? And all the perks and the enjoyment of the kingdom, okay, is going to be accredited first to Yahweh Shai, and his men under him. You see? And that's the glory of a leader. Like, that's another thing as we mature as leaders, I enjoyment, you get enjoyment from seeing the people under you in a good place. Like you don't mind, as a leader, you don't mind being uncomfortable. Okay, for a period to make other people comfortable, man. And Yahweh Shai did that on the cross. He became very uncomfortable. So on the back end, we all can be comfortable. We all can be straight. So that's going to be a payoff in itself to see Israel in the eternal good state in the kingdom. And this is what Yahweh Shai is maturing us into, man. okay? Seeing brothers, good, man. Family's good. you see? No more degeneracy, man. Like, hey, niggas don't exist. Okay, a hot girl thought, those things don't exist anymore, man. That's going to be the big payoff. Okay? Abundance. Everybody just has abundance, man. Okay? you see, but we're learning these things from the bottom. The Lord has us last for a reason. I always speak on the Spirit. Always had me speak on it, man. The Lord has us last, all right, for a reason. Okay? He has us in these circumstances for a reason, because it's giving us balance. With this a quality of a great leader. That balance. Okay, that patience, that discipline. Okay, that conquering spirit. He puts us in certain circumstances where the odds against us, because he wants us to conquer these things, man. All right. Every situation we in, the odds gonna be against us, man. But there's something that we have to conquer in us, and then we can conquer it. You know. And how Shah always does that, man. Puts us in an awkward situation, and the first thing, that we try to do is try to get out of the situation. But then, if he takes us out the situation and we didn't learn the lesson, then it was pointless, man. So when we get in certain situations, the first thing, we should do is look within, you know, look within, make the adjustment from within, then start making the adjustments from without, you know. And it's an ongoing process until Yahweh Shah returns. Each brother is going through the same process, different circumstances, but the same process of being perfected. you know, you see. So that's pretty much the point. Just wanted to expound on that. Go through that parable as we're constantly being perfected. For leadership. Going through that suffering, drinking of that cup. So we gotta finish that cup. Everybody gonna finish that cup of suffering, which is gonna pay off and being perfected. Okay, and it's an eternal reward. You see, it's an eternal reward, man. All right, because if you run the business, okay, if you run it, with integrity, guess what? You might be the owner, but you gotta pay your vendors and your employees first. Okay, when you run the business, sometimes you do certain things and you don't get nothing, but your people, long as they get something. Now, of course, you gotta make the adjustment to where it make profit for it to survive. Okay, but there's certain situations to where that you might not get nothing on the on the deal, but your vendors and your people get theirs. Okay, and when things get great, you get yours on the back end. If you survive the storm. Okay, so we gonna get everything on the back end, brothers. Right now, our main focus is serving. Our main focus is just serving, serving. Okay, and we'll get rewarded on the back end when Yahweh Shai comes and conquers the earth in righteousness, man. Okay, so yep, that's the point, man. Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters were edified, man. Okay, hey, we're almost out of here. All right, we're getting down to that last wire, man. Just a thing of patience now. So Lord will, you were edified. Till next time I say shalom.